Welcome back to the Colin Thompson Show, everybody. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Football is back. Yes, I know. Very exciting times. Exciting times for me and Jack because we're the only two in here wearing a hat today. Jay, what happened to your hat, bud?
I have a nice new haircut. I didn't want to put a hat on it.
You do have a great head of hair, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Looks good. Looks good. Jack, tell us about your new hat you're wearing, buddy. I know you're excited about it.
Yeah, I stopped by the Eagles game this past Friday against the New York Jets. First game
Shocker.
of the season.
Jack's got to bring up the Eagles.
The Birds, man. But yeah, I mean, so this past offseason, the Eagles unveiled a new word mark, and they only have these hats in the pro shop at the link. So I had to go down and get one because listen, I love the new logo. Honestly, I think it was time for a revamp of the word mark. I know everybody likes the old one, but I think it was time for a change. And I'm a big fan of this. So I grabbed this. They had this, and then they had just the E in white and black. And I like the white because it made the logo pop. So I had to stand by my continued long list of controversial takes and one of my favorite logos in football right now, the new Eagles word mark.
The first controversial take was what you got in your Chipotle order, which was a chicken in a tortilla. That's it. And that was called a burrito. And it cost me, because I paid for lunch that day, 2 or 3. You could have just got tacos with just chicken and it would have been cheaper. And again, I'm not for long media. We're okay. I'm going to spend the money for you, Jack. But the end of the day is that was your first controversial take. And then the next controversial take is you put mild wings and hot wings on the same top 5. Not that mild was the number 1 wing. That's fine, Jack. But they're in the same category. And is one really that much hotter than the other? And now you're saying that the hat you're wearing is a great hat compared to the other Eagle hat. And I love the Eagles brands over the years. The Kelly Green, again, I'm from Philly. I got to see them, watch them, support them. I got no comment on what's going on now, but I love the old stuff. I'll say that. No, it's good. It looks good. I think listen, I'm for change and rebranding 100%. I will be. I'm going to keep an open mind with it. It's good. Change is good. It forces, new creative thoughts. It's going to create more throwbacks. It's going to make, local apparel stores more money because people got to buy different stuff. Pro shops, like you're saying. So I'm for it, Jack. How was the game though? Jets, Birds. How was it?
That was phenomenal. We had great seats. I've only been to the link once before. And there's not a bad seat in the link to begin with, but we're mezzanine level right behind the end zone. You can see everything. Looks like you're watching all 22 on film. It's beautiful. You got a perfect angle of it all. It's offensive line. You get to see exactly what you would see on coach's film. It was perfect. It was great. Everybody's electric. I mean, that place when Jalen Hurts got the late hit, it sounded like it was like week 10 Sunday Night Football. That's how electric it was. I mean, the place was rocking and roaring.
For sure, one of the best fan bases in the NFL. That's not debatable. It's fact. I experienced it last year, even down here in Carolina. Almost half the stadium was full of Eagles fans. So, yeah, not a fan of the Birds. I'm a supporter from a distance. As someone from the Philadelphia area, I'm a Panthers fan, as we all know. Make that crystal clear out here. I'll tell you this: I'm a fan of what happened today. My Tottenham Hotspurs draw in the 96th minute. Harry Kane header against Chelsea. We had fights between players. We had fights between coaches. Almost turned to fisticuffs between coaches. So I was jacked to see the Spurs come out with points at Chelsea. So really excited for that. I had the Tottenham shirt on earlier, but I couldn't wear the jersey and the hat again. It would look like we do the same episode every week wearing the same different thing. So I had to pop on the Not For Long Media Columbia shirt. We had Not For Long Media hats. We have Breaking Bats hats. Check out our apparel, notforlongmedia.com. Support our sponsors, guys. They're all over notforlongmedia.com, including our friends at Fudge Kitchen, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country. Fudgekitchens.com. The best fudge, the sweetest fudge, the best saltwater taffy. There's no better feeling than sending somebody when they're not expecting it to. Like, send it to a buddy's address. I did that last week. Some saltwater taffy. They had no idea. Send it to them. Awesome. Somebody's birthday, send them a box of fudge. Thanking somebody for doing something special for you. Don't spend $60 on flowers that are just going to die in a week if they make it in one piece. Send them a box of fudge. It's a gift that keeps on giving. You can share with everybody. So fudgekitchens.com. Check them out. You can get it anywhere at the Jersey Shore, from Ocean City, New Jersey, 2 locations there now. They just added another one all the way down to Cape May, where they have 2 locations, and in between in Stone Harbor. So check them out, fudgekitchen.com. Check out our friend Som Sleep, guys. I've said it before. Som Sleep has changed my life, point blank period. I take it every night. I have a bottle here somewhere back there in the kitchen there, a hotel living here during training camp. I take it every night. Som Sleep, promo code Colin. Get Som Sleep, promo code Colin. get you 10% off your purchase. Guys, like I said, it's revolutionized my career. Sleep's the number one thing for recovery. Sleep's the number one thing for really anything you're trying to do athletically, but also in just a life where you don't have to go out and run into people and wear a helmet and shoulder pads and lift and run and do all the things that we do as pro athletes and football players. It just winds you down when you just get a little antsy before bed, or you get that second wind before bed, or you want to get a nap. And if you get a nap, you can't go to bed as early as you want to. Som Sleep is the ticket. It's all natural products. The magnesium in it really calms you down. So check them out. Get Som Sleep, promo code Colin. All right, guys. Justin covered a game this weekend. Where were you at, Justin, and how was it?
I went to the Commanders and Panthers game over at FedEx in DC. It was fantastic. I ran into our old friend Kevin Clark from The Ringer. I talked to him for like half an hour. So shout out Kevin Clark.
Alumni.
Yes. Not for Long Media podcast alumni. It was great. So watch it from the press box. Never been to the press box at FedEx. Pretty good. Not gonna lie. I was expecting, I didn't know what to expect at the FedEx Field press box. Pretty good. So I would definitely like to go back and watch another game there. And then after the game, got to see the Coach Rule presser. I got a question into Baker Mayfield about the tight ends, which we'll have a clip coming soon. Stuck around for Sam Darnold, went to the locker room after. It was very weird. The locker room's open for reporters again. And I was telling Jack about this before we started, but like the NFL locker room and then just having media people mixed in there is a very odd scene. Colin, have you been a part of a locker room with COVID and everything where you just got like, dudes getting out of the shower and then people in polos holding microphones?
I have. So I told a story on it here before, and I'll tell it again. I was in Chicago. I was in practice. I was with the Giants during training camp, and there was no media in the locker room during training camp at the time. There was not a preseason game or anything. And I don't think New York, they let media in the locker room. I don't know. It gets a little crazy. I forget what it was back then. But I'm with the Bears week 8 or 9 of the regular season. I go on the practice squad there, and I'm getting changed. It's a Wednesday, and I'm walking to the shower, and I look to my right, and there's like 50 people walking through the door, men and women. And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And you're just like naked in front of like 2 lockers down. They're all interviewing people, men and women. And listen, I'm for, everyone having the opportunity to interview players, but it is a men's locker room and there was ladies in there. And that really threw me off. It really did. It was very, almost, I thought, uncomfortable and unique. Like your first time, you don't know what to expect. So yeah, unique perspective. I'm sure JA was red-faced.
No, thankfully I didn't get in there. So like what happened is that like somebody stuck their head into the press room where like Coach Rule was talking. They're like, hey, the locker room's open. But I didn't go in immediately. I kind of waited like 10 minutes to see like all the quarterbacks come through. So I think I caught the locker room at like the tail end. So thankfully I think almost everybody was clothed. But like that just would have been an odd scene if you're walking through trying to figure out who you're going to talk to. And then you just see like towels and just like, all right. But I got to interview Tommy Tremble for a couple minutes. So we have some clips coming from that.
How was the crazy man?
He was very complimentary of you. I asked about the tight end room, and he said that he wouldn't be where he is today without you. So a little precursor to one of the clips we have coming out on.
He must have knows you're a not for long media guy.
I did say I work for you, so that I was like, hey, I work for Colin. Can I talk to you?
We work with each other. We work together.
Yeah. So and plus I had talked to him last summer, so that helped. But yeah, it was a great time. We have a lot of clips coming out from that.
That's great. We have a lot to talk about today. You guys went to preseason games. We got bar of the week. We got top 5 Gatorade colors talking about it today. Yes, we have succumbed. We are ranking things on our show now, and it's been fun. And the banter's been great. But I'll encourage this: the people that are watching and listening, don't text me about my stuff. Don't text Jack about what you don't like, or Justin. Justin does his stuff at Breaking Bats. Check it out, as well as all of our other podcasts, including Bourbon with Friends and Not for Long Media. A few other are coming, but Breaking Bats, Justin and Brian O'Grady kill it on there, talking all things baseball. A lot going on in baseball here. I might actually send it over to JA in a little bit about the latest steroid situation in baseball and have to tee you up because we didn't talk about this pre-deal. But don't text me, folks, or call me and say your wing orders suck. Okay? Comment on the social media. Help us out a little bit. And I'll defend my wing order as this. Everyone's like, teriyaki? If you go to the Seaview in Cape May, New Jersey, those teriyaki wings are unbelievable. Okay? I talked about the wings from the Chop Tank. Everything was predetermined. It wasn't like if I'm at home and I'm making flavored wings, what am I going to make my wings? It was if I'm out, I'm getting wings, here's what I'm ordering. And they're all from certain places. So I don't want to hear it. I do want to hear it, but say it on social media. And Jack's the one who gets ripped for his takes here, not me. Let's make that crystal clear. Okay, guys. Hey, listen, check out our friends at Wealth Advisory Services. If you don't know them, you should. First-class approach to managing your wealth. Over 100 years of experience in their office, located in Doylestown, Bucks County, Cape May, New Jersey. So they have those bases covered. Meet Paul, meet Dave for lunch. That's how it kind of started for me. And I've been working with them ever since. My family works with them, and it's been an absolute blessing. Turn advisor into really best friend and great friend and huge supporter of what we do here at the podcast, what I do in my career. And I've learned a ton when it comes to market. I've learned a ton about retirement, which, I'm planning for now. I learned a ton about buying a new house and then buying another house and then selling a house and renting a house and trying to find the way and navigate through the world with before I was in the NFL and trying to make it with a smaller sum of money and then the next kind of sum of money and how I'm navigating the world in this way and what's next and where to put it and what boxes to check, what buckets to put things into. So wealthadvisoryservices.com, Wealth Advisory Services, Paul and Dave and their team, check them out. Thank you to all our sponsors. Again, Fudge Kitchen, Som Sleep, promo code Colin, SeatGeek, promo code Colin Thompson, going to a game, $20 off an order over $50. Check them out, guys. SeatGeek. A lot of games going on in this world today. Football's back. Baseball's in full swing. Before you know it, basketball and hockey will be back in October. So it's midway through August. We're getting close, kids. Check us out. Check them out. Promo code Colin Thompson. Som, SeatGeek, Fudge Kitchen, and Wealth Advisory Services. So highlight of the game for you. First off, Justin, let's talk about the steroid situation going on with baseball with Tatis Jr. What happened there?
So Padres star Fernando Tatis Jr. has not played a game this year already because he was recovering from a wrist injury sustained during an off-season motorcycle accident. So a little daredevil action. And so the Padres have just kind of been, waiting for his return because they already traded for Soto. They already have Manny Machado. So this team has been dying for their superstar shortstop to come back. And then he got popped for an 80-game steroid suspension for a drug. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this. Clostebol. I have no idea. It's an anabolic steroid, and it's been banned since 2003. D. Gordon got suspended for that a couple years ago, so that's how I remembered it. But Tatis issued a statement that was like he took that to treat ringworm, and I'm not sure if him or his agent or whoever put the statement out realized that that's not the name for the ringworm drug. That's clobetasol. I'm so bad at that.
Great job.
But it's sound it out, Justin. It's completely different. So he lied. He said that he had ringworm and he took steroids to treat ringworm and and just the Padres and everybody's just so like, they're all really upset at him, obviously, because they were waiting for him to come back and he was so close because he's been playing down in the minors. But yeah, it sucks for Brian and all the Padres fans out there. It's going to be tough. They're really counting on him to help put him over the edge and maybe make a deep playoff run. But without him, who knows? So that was
all in on the Soto trade too.
Yeah, he's only there for a little bit, a couple of years, so they really needed Tatis back. But yeah, it was big time for Googling what Clostebol is over the weekend. It's pretty much all I did.
It's great work.
Thank you.
So Jack covers Eagles and Jets. Justin goes to Washington, Carolina. We hit a little bit on a little MLB by surprise, but I think it's time. Is it time to? Well, you know what, Jack? Can you read that Twitter post that I sent you about the Tour-Time winner scoring a touchdown? I think that was really cool. And a really cool moment for both, the lacrosse world and the NFL world. They've had some players like a Chris Hogan that has crossed over that played Penn State lacrosse, and then he transferred to Monmouth and played 1 year at Monmouth, and then all of a sudden he wins a bunch of Super Bowl with the Patriots. He played for Carolina. I think he played for Miami as well. Can you touch on the player from Atlanta?
Yeah, so his name is Jared Bernhardt, and 2 years ago, like you said, he won the T. Wharton Award Trophy, which goes to the best player in the college lacrosse. And he is a wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons. He scored a touchdown against the Detroit Lions this past week, which is just incredible. I mean, you always hear about Chris Hogan, who I believe played lacrosse at the college level, but I also think he did football as well. And just seeing an incredible two-sport, the winning that award in the T. Wharton, it's incredibly competitive. College lacrosse is definitely at the men's level is insanely competitive. So being able to dominate in that sport and then also succeed in the NFL is incredible. I mean, great job by Jared there.
So Jack's now ripping the women's lacrosse community, saying that the college level women's lacrosse is insanely competitive. Was that comparing the two or no?
No, I was comparing it more to like the NLL and the PLL, not women's. Strictly in the men's community. And the NLL are competitive. but
You
I
got
mean,
Florida
most
women's lacrosse players breathing down your neck already with your wing choice and your burrito. So you can't afford any gray area there, man.
No. Strictly talking the men's lacrosse professional and collegiate leagues within each other.
So Jared is from Longwood, Florida, which is impressive that he played lacrosse in college anyway. He played lacrosse at Maryland, arguably the best program for men's and women's in the country. Lacrosse-wise, we had Taylor Cummings on. Shout out to TC. Absolute stud. Tour-ton winner multiple times. So then he goes to Ferris State. Ferris State. Does anybody know where Ferris State is? I don't.
I'm gonna guess somewhere in the South. That's just it sounds like a Southern or like a Texas school.
Justin, any guesses?
I'll say South Carolina.
I would say no. Where Ferris State is located in. Hold on. It just came up, then it disappeared. Ferris State. Big Rapids, Michigan. So, again, not the best for media and radio here, folks, podcasting, because we're delaying and searching things. But pretty impressive for him to go from Ferris State to the NFL to now scoring a touchdown to winning a Tour-ton trophy. Pretty impressive. I just wanted to bring that up on the pod, and I appreciate you talking about it, Jack, because the grind is unreal at the bottom of the NFL for players like him, for players like myself, trying to get into the league, trying to stay in the league, and then when you stay in the league, try not to get cut and stay relevant and recreate yourself. But there's a guy that's playing wide out in the NFL and is a great athlete and makes a big time catch, huge catch in the preseason game against Detroit where Atlanta won. So yeah, pretty impressive stuff. Jack, let's talk about the USFL thing. Can you run through those numbers real quick? I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, so the USL recently released how many of their players from their inaugural season have been signed by an NFL team. And amongst the 8 franchises, 5 of them have over 5 players signed in the NFL, and all of them have had at least 3 players signed. So, I mean, it's incredible. The Stallions lead the pack with 7. The Generals with 6. The Stars with Philadelphia Stars also 6, 2 with 5. So add up that number. That's about 30, 40 some USFL players who've made an NFL roster, which is just, I think that's an incredible amount from the inaugural season from the USFL.
It is. And it shows you that there's area, there's room, in this world for minor league football. Now, these guys could have got signed anyways, right? They could have probably they could have probably been a bottom of the roster NFL guy anyways. And like I was, and I am, and you go to that league and then you say, I'm going to get more playing time and I've been in and out. And I kind of want to rejuvenate myself and give me some tape and some film and get better. And that's what they did. So they go to USFL, they improve their game, they get reps. And I bet they're coming in with a ton of confidence because they just played football not that long ago. The COVID year, when everyone's like, man, this COVID year is tough. We came in like kind of mid-July and we had like a kind of ramp up period instead of like coming in late July and just going right into it. So I just had a lot of confidence. Like I was just blocking people and catching footballs and all this stuff in like March. And I know everyone has OTAs, but when you put pads on, it's way different, obviously. So good for those guys. Worked on their game, got picked up. There's still plenty more players in that league that will play in the league that aren't there yet. It may take them a year or so. Doesn't make them that they're not good players. It's just, a million reasons, for what's going on. So there's a lot of people commenting and reaching out to us on our streams. So we appreciate everybody watching. Again, we go live on Sundays, and we'll do a better job maybe tweeting when we're going to go live so people can watch us live as we go. It's been really fun for us to grow this show and have the ability to go live from all over the country. Justin's in Annapolis, Jack is in Philly suburbs, and I'm down here in Carolina. So long story short, it's been a great ride. A lot, not for long media. We have couple different podcasts coming in the future. I can't disclose them yet. We're holding off as much as we can, but more to come in that realm. Again, check out our friends at Breaking Bats. Check out our friends over at Bourbon with Friends, obviously here at the Colin Thompson Show. Okay. So it's time. It's time for Gatorade colors. It's time for Jack to get absolutely exposed with his take again. What do you got?
All right. So I will do my 5-1 again. It's a little bit controversial. I think this is one of my more tame takes in recent memory. Well, talking with you, hearing your stuff before, I don't know if you'll agree, but I think the general audience won't find it controversial. But coming at number 5, I have purple. I think we're going to say it's all by colors. Nobody knows the actual flavors of these things. So number 5 is purple. 4, I have the green, the light green. I think it's lemon lime. That is my 4. Number 3, I have red. 2, I have orange. And number 1, I have any flavor in one of those sport bottles, like the little twisty cap that you can like. Any flavor that comes in those bottles is my favorite. It just tastes different, tastes better. That is my top 5 Gatorade flavors.
Okay. So yet again, Jack Connell just absolutely embarrasses himself. 4 straight things. Jack, it's rate your favorite flavors, not your favorite bottle.
It's any flavor that comes in that bottle is better than any flavor ever. So I'm counting it as its own thing.
I understand what you're saying. Those they do taste good, but there's multiple flavors.
That would be like me saying, like, what's your favorite beer? And I'm like, anything that comes in a can. Like, what? That doesn't make sense.
That's okay. Let it go. He can't rescind it. It's too late. It's been printed.
I'm not going to rescind it. I'm standing by it. I don't care. It can't be any worse than Chipotle. It can't be any worse than the wings. So
we'll see about that. Yeah.
I die by the take. Live by a take, die by a take.
Hey, God bless you, Jack. I'm going to go mine. And number 5, I was torn with. I didn't know what to do because there's only really 4 really good flavors, in my opinion. I hate red. That is out. I hate the yellow. Excuse me, not yellow. I hate the red. I hate the white. That's brutal. But for me, I put 5 dark blue. 4 is orange. 3, that light purple, is unreal. 2, that light blue is so good. And 1, the only Gatorade flavor there is, folks, and that is yellow, lemon lime, whatever you want to call it, but it is yellow. On game day, they mix up our Gatorade colors on game day. Some days we got the light purple, some days we have the blue, the light blue, the yellow. It's incredible on game day. It is so good. Obviously, they make with the vats. They don't pour the bottles in. They make the vats, so it's got maybe a little extra punch in it. So shout out to the trainers in the NFL and all football making that fresh Gatorade across the league. So yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff out of you. Now, Justin, do you have any? Can you give us an insight of what your list is going to look like? Just a little bit.
I'll tell you what it won't have. It won't have lemon lime. That stuff tastes like pee. I don't
like
purple. It's disgusting. I don't know how. Especially the thought of like the people mixing it up in those big that just takes me back to every crappy athletic performance I've ever had in my entire life was spent drinking that stuff. So that's like PTSD. Purple is disgusting. Dark blue is like you're like, hey mom, can you go to the store and get blue Gatorade? And she gets that stuff. You're like, no, the other kind, the light blue. So I mean, it's just you guys really need to hone in and clean it up.
No yellow Gatorade.
It's so bad. I don't know how you drink it.
Oh, it's incredible.
When we were with the Bears, they brought us Gatorade Zero, and it was the original Gatorade Zero. The taste, the taste test, I guess. They wanted to sample it on us and we had to give our feedback to like the Gatorade people. It was pretty cool. I loved it. Now I haven't had the other Gatorade Zero. I think it's pretty good. The problem is Gatorade is really, guys, is like people think you should drink Gatorade like all the time, but it's like loaded with a lot of sugar and stuff. So it's like it's good for us to maybe drink during or before an event or after an athletic event. But I digress. I'm not going to be everyone's nutritionist here on the show. That's their own stuff. All right. I think we're ready for the bar of the week, guys. Breaking news. We're ready for the bar of the week. Okay. The bar of the week this week at the Colin Thompson Show is McGillen's Old Ale House in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Love McGillen's. It is in a great part of Philly, right near Center City. It's going to be right near that Sixers stadium there, Jack. It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be able to go to a Sixers game and walk right to McGillen's after. I think McGillen's is pretty happy about that, and they're hoping for that. So McGillen's in an establishment in Philly that's been around forever. Our previous guest, R.A., Rear Admiral, was in there. He got booted off the stage during some karaoke. They're famous for their karaoke during the week. They're famous for, late night sing-alongs. They're famous for places to watch games. They're famous for their food, the ambiance. It's just an old Philly place. It's been there forever. I'm trying to think how old it is, Jack. Hold on. Let me look this up because this is a part of the whole thing. It says it right on the front.
Like 1800s or something.
Yeah, 1860. McGillen's Old Ale House. the bar of the week this week here at the Colin Thompson Show. 1860. It's been around for a while. So I'll start off with the TVs. I don't really think people are going there for the TVs, even though it's a good place to watch the game because it's got a good environment, good ambiance. TVs are a 3 out of 5. The beer's a 4 out of 5. The service is a 4 out of 5. But really, at the end of the day, guys, it's like the ambiance, the food, the bites, the eat, the apps. I don't even know. I've only ate there maybe a handful of times. It's just a great place to drink and hang out. And it's got a great vibe of Philly. The ambiance is a 5 out of 5. So I'm going to give it a score at a 16 out of 20. You can't, beat the area. You can't beat being together. Music's bumping. It's fun. It's sing-along type vibes. A ton of people there. It's got a Cheers kind of atmosphere to it. So the bar of the week this week on the CT show is McGillen's Old Ale House in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All right, boys. So we talked a little SOM. We talked a little SeatGeek. We talked a little Wealth Advisory Services. We hit on Fudge Kitchen. We talked Gatorade. We talked Bar of the Week. We touched a little Tour Time, which, again, I think that's so impressive. A guy that to win the Mecca, win the Heisman of college men's lacrosse, which Jack says is super competitive. I don't know what he was alluding to there. He says compared to other leagues. Now, women's lacrosse, so don't jump on Jack again, folks, especially the women's lacrosse team who's been hounding Jack, and they will crush you again because I don't know how you're going to make the graphic for this, Jack, for the Gatorade. What are you going to put, like, Gatorade bottles?
Yeah, that was actually my plan. It was actually a lot. It's difficult because like a lot of these things you can make visual. Now, wing flavors all look the same. They're all some variation of red. So I had to get some lettering in there, and it kind of got a little messy. But with this, it'll be nice, clean, and simple. It'll look beautiful.
You're getting crushed. You're going to get crushed, Jack. You're going to get absolutely crushed. We got Miles Hartsfield this week coming on, guys. I buried the lead again. So Justin, who's a part of our Not For Long Media family, and guys, I keep forgetting about our boys over at Odd G's. I keep saying Breaking Bats and Bourbon with Friends, but one of our newest shows and proud members, Harry Mays and Jason Bertidis, joined us with Odd G's. So really excited to have them a part of our family. Again, 2 Philly sports radio legends joined us here at Not For Long Media. So check them out. Odd G's. You can get all of our podcasts, Spotify, Apple, anywhere. And again, check out our website, notforlongmedia.com, sponsorship information. We have all the info where you can buy swag from all of our pods. So lots to discuss. But Miles Hartsfield joined us this week, guys. And Miles is a absolute stud for us here in Carolina Panthers. He's from Jersey, went to Ole Miss, went undrafted, and he's a guy who's now going on his 3rd year in the NFL, and just a great guy, a business owner, has his own podcast. He had a great camp in New Jersey for kids this summer. Justin interviewed him when he came down for training camp. J.A., can you talk a little bit about your interview with Miles?
It was great. Yeah, I mean, it was really cool to talk about all the things you just mentioned, like his youth football camp, which I know he's very proud of. His podcast, I think it's called This Is Me. It's very cool, fellow podcaster. So, I'd love to get him back on, maybe do a longer one. But yeah, and then the Ole Miss stuff I really like too, because it was, him and Matt Corral coming to Carolina. They're both there. They both went to Ole Miss. So hearing about, the Cali boy, Matt Corral, coming down there, it was very cool. So very, very proud of the way this interview turned out. And it was a lot of fun talking to him. You
did a great job. Jack did a great job with the camera work. You guys were, a hell of a team and hell of a tandem and left a great impact in Carolina. Everyone was, had nothing but great things to say about you two coming out of training camp. And obviously you guys get to cover some NFL games this weekend too here. So, we're blessed to have you guys as well as our whole team at Not For Long Media. We could not be, putting these shows and these videos and YouTubes and all the interactive stuff on social media without professionals like yourself and our team. So I appreciate you guys. I know you guys know that, but you can never say it enough. So thank you guys so much. We hope you guys continue to support our sponsors, the original Fudge Kitchen, fudgekitchens.com. Wealth Advisory Services. If you don't know them, you should. wealthadvisoryservices.com. Get some sleep, please. It is the best thing that you can do if you have trouble sleeping, falling asleep, staying asleep. It's the best. Promo code Colin. And then SeatGeek, promo code Colin Thompson, $20 off your tickets over $50. That's Jack Connell. That is Justin Ayers. I am Colin Thompson. Appreciate you guys tuning into the Colin Thompson Show. Your support through training camp. We are off to New England this week for joint practice with them and a preseason game on Friday. So without further ado, we're going to send over to the Miles Hartsfield interview. Thanks for tuning in.